Gears 5. Gears 5 is like a really nice car held together by masking tape. It drives really well, but at any moment, for any reason, it can completely fall apart. I don't hate Gears of War 5. In fact, I think it's great when it works. It's got some great level design. I really enjoy the open world part so far. And Kate has me more invested as a character than pretty much any Gears character ever. That said, the campaign at least, because I haven't played the multiplayer, but I've heard it's having a fair amount of issues too. The campaign shouldn't have launched in this state. You know, me and my buddy pretty much set the whole day out to power through as much of the campaign as we could, and we would have gotten a lot further than we did. But in the first 2 acts, we haven't beaten Act 2 yet. The game has crashed 14 times. I've fallen through the geometry.
About time you two showed up. Glad you're safe.
Here, we got him. Where do you need us?
The game gets hung up on checkpoints. It won't save the checkpoint, and then when you die, it won't let you reload the checkpoint. And then it crashes when you try to reload the previous checkpoint. What else has happened? My co-op partner has gotten booted multiple times for no reason. At one point we had to hard reset the console because his audio just wouldn't play. I get that launching a multiplayer game has unexpected issues. There's a lot more to worry about, but you're telling me that no one beta testing the campaign noticed that it crashes every couple of minutes? Like, that's an exaggeration, but it's not a very big exaggeration. Like, again, we barely got to Act 2 and the game crashed on us 14 times. Well, and I understand that the Coalition is going to fix it. In fact, looking at their Twitter today, it seems they've added updates that have fixed most of the complaints I had just now. But that leads to the problem. The whole point of this video isn't to say Gears 5 is glitchy and it'll never work better, because I guarantee it will. By the time I've uploaded this, it's probably in 10 times the state it launched in. But why did it launch like that? And that's a big problem, I think, with a lot of modern games. You know, patching, updates. The day one update has become all too common, and sometimes they're huge, which means the game, you know, they pressed on a disc and shipped out, isn't good enough to be played in the state it's in. And that's the problem with patching. Patching should be a good thing. Updates should be a good thing. There's plenty of instances of like game-breaking bugs that can't be fixed in classic games. Being able to fix these game-breaking issues post-launch should be a good thing. That's not what happens, is it? They don't just fix those things they didn't catch. It's the mindset that seemingly every modern developer has fallen into. The idea that just because we can patch a game after it releases means we don't have to make sure it's finished before it comes out. The concept of being able to fix a game has made games inherently more broken. It's almost ridiculous. And every developer with a Twitter page, you know, when their game goes gold, they make a big deal about it. But it doesn't mean anything anymore. A game going gold doesn't mean it's finished. Look at this. This went gold months ago, but Gears 5 is nearly unplayable in this state, and that's the state of the game that they thought was worth putting onto a disc and saying it's gold. And I get that game development is hard. You know, being a relatively new studio, your second game is entry number 5 in a huge series. It's hard. trying to meet a deadline is hard. Being the developer of one of the 3 exclusive franchises, keeping the Xbox brand afloat is hard. But it's not an excuse to release games like this. And like I said, Gears of War, the Coalition, it's not the only ones to blame. This is just about, it seems, every big budget release on launch. You see it in reviews. You don't see reviews mentioning the game crashing or anything like that, at least not that I've seen. Or for really any game. Now, are reviewers getting earlier patched copies of these games, or do they just not even include things like major glitches in the reviews because they know it'll be patched? Is it so accepted that a game will be patched when it launched that we don't care anymore that games launch in such unfinished states? Do I sound like a conspiracy theorist? I don't think it's unreasonable to think that games should launch ready to play. This game I'm playing now, this buggy mess, this is the game that was pressed to the disc. This is the game that went gold. Years from now, when servers are down, you try to put this disc in an Xbox that doesn't have the updates, and you're going to be back to playing this garbage game. And I know that's probably way too forward thinking. Who's even going to care about Gears 5 20 years from now? You really think the world's going to be here 20 years from now? Whatever. I think it's an important thing to think about, because media preservation is important. And all these physical games, these discs that are going to exist, after, Xbox Live, PSN are shut down, they're gonna hold these shells of games that barely function because they don't have the 50, 20, 40, 90 gigabyte day one patch. It's unfortunate. It's not a huge inconvenience, but it's like no one cares. They'll fix it with updates. No one cares that games launch broken anymore. Developers don't care. I'm sure some of them do. I shouldn't put them in a box. I'm sorry. I'm tired. It's late. I just want to get this video out while it's even remotely relevant, so forgive my sleep-deprived rants. And I guess thanks for watching.